Plaintiff Claudia Adrianza is suing her former friend Kimberly Massengale for an unpaid loan. Claudia says she loaned the defendant money to buy a motorcycle for her girlfriend and she hasn't been repaid. But Kimberly says the money was not for a motorcycle. It was a bribe because Claudia asked Kimberly to marry her Brazilian boyfriend so he could stay in this country.
Claudia Adrianza is suing Kimberly Massengale, her former friend, for an unpaid loan and court fees. Claudia, tell us why you're here today.
Well, I met Kim at work. We worked together, and we got along very well. I felt like she was very caring. I felt like she was very nice. She was responsible, and we bonded very quickly, a lot. I did, however, feel like she was very insecure about herself. She had low self-esteem about her weight and things like that. Women at work weren't very nice to her. They were very judgmental towards her. So I felt like that was wrong. And then in April 2008, her girlfriend and herself, they decided to get a Harley Davidson motorcycle. And it was a Saturday towards the end of April that she took off work and she went to go pick up the motorbike. Everybody was happy for her. And that afternoon she called me and she was crying and she was really upset because she needed money for her.
You'll get your chance.
She needed money for her down payment for her motorcycle.
So what happens? You go to get a motorcycle and...
No, that's not the truth. We met at a dealership. We worked for a car dealership. And, you know, Claudia and me, we clicked, like she said. You know, we were really close. I trusted her, you know. But come to find out, she's very conniving and, you know, very selfish. She's all about herself. And then in March, she propositioned me to marry her boyfriend because he's illegal. He's from Brazil and he's not a legal citizen. And she cried to me and told me, oh God, if my boyfriend, you know, if he don't become a legal citizen, he's going to be sent back to Brazil, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
Did you proposition her to marry your boyfriend so he could be legal? Well, why wouldn't she marry him?
Oh, because she don't have her legal papers either.
Do you have your papers?
I have my green card, so I'm not a citizen, but I'm a resident. But
exactly, she's lying. She asked me to marry her boyfriend. She offered me $5,000 to marry her boyfriend, and she was very persistent about it. And she begged me. So you know what? I thought $5,000, that's a lot of money. You know, I was like, but I was scared, you know. I'm like, there are 3 risks, okay? I know it sounds crazy, but there's 3 risks. Like, for one thing, I'm a lesbian, okay? I have a girlfriend. We've been together for 4 years. Everyone knows us. You know, what would I look like marrying this guy from Brazil? You know, they'd be like, what in the heck is going on? I mean, you know, And then number 2, you have to go through extensive screening, okay, to become married to someone that's not legal. I mean, I would have to know everything about him, his favorite color, his favorite TV show, you know, all kinds of stuff, right?
So how'd you find this out that you'd have to go through this extensive
Because she told
screening?
me. Because she told me that.
Because that's not something that you would look into?
Oh, no, I swear, nuh-uh. What happened is she come over to a party that we were having one night, and she brought it all up, and I know, she looks innocent. She really does, but she's not. She is not innocent. I'm telling you right now, she's not. Look at her. I mean, I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. I thought, oh, God, she looks like a porcelain doll. She's so cute. She's so trustworthy, but she's not. She's not trustworthy at all. She come over to a party.
Let's get past the editorializing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what's the third thing?
The third thing, you could go to jail for 10 years, is what she said. You know, so these are all the points she brought up. So you know what she said? She said, let's have a wedding at my house. I'll take pictures. So when we go through the screening process, you'll have pictures of a wedding. You'll know stuff about them.
Did you meet this guy, Kimberly?
I did. He don't even speak English. So how was I to get to know him? He doesn't even speak English. You know, I don't know Spanish.
What were the circumstances of your meeting him?
He come over to a party.
Whose party?
Me and my girlfriend had a party at our house, and we invited a bunch of our friends over, and I invited her because, you know. But, I mean, I refused to get married to him. I said, Claudia, I'm not going to take a risk going to jail. I'm terrified of jail. I don't want to go to jail.
You should be.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, Claudia, talk to me.
Okay, so this is what happened. Yeah, my boyfriend was going through some immigration issues at that time. This was back in March, April. She actually was the first one who offered to do it, okay? before,
Yeah, that's
she
not
was the first
true.
one with the idea. I would have never thought of that.
Let me ask you a question. You're the one with the green card. You're the one who knows the rules, the issues, the problems.
I actually
You're the
don't-
one with the boyfriend who's not here,
Yep.
who can't stay here on his own. How would she know about that when you are living that?
I actually no. I got my green card through my mom. We moved here 10 years ago, so I honestly don't know anything about that whole situation.
How do you meet your boyfriend?
Through my best friend,
But he's at risk of having to go back to where?
Brazil.
Brazil. So what are you going to do about that?
We actually already got the situation resolved.
How?
He got a student visa.
Okay.
Yeah, so we got that resolved 2 months ago. But her and her girlfriend, both of them, they said, yeah, I'll marry him. Yeah, it was just talking. And that's when that idea came to my head. I went later and I talked to her, and we did talk about it, and she's completely, that I was talking to her about it every day, harassing her. She asked me questions, and I would go and ask, people I knew around, and I would answer her questions. I would give her the answers to the questions that she had given me. But that's not the circumstances that these $500 are under.
So she calls you and says, I don't have the money for the down payment. Is that your version?
Yes.
Okay. And you're denying that?
Yes.
Okay. So what do?
I went to the bank and I loaned her the money.
Okay. Why?
I trusted her. I mean, I really did. She told me on the phone, she said, I'll pay you back. That was the Saturday. We got paid that next Friday.
Okay.
She said, I'll pay you back,
Did
when
you
I
get
get the
anything
money.
in writing, Claudia?
That day, I did not.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
All right. That's fine. But the only issue is whether or not it was that she was going to repay
She was
you
going to
for
repay
this.
me. Right.
When did you realize that once that Friday came that you didn't get the money, and what did you do?
I got laid off 2 months later. Around June, I got laid off from that job. And that's when I started thinking, okay, I'm not going to see this money again. So I would text her, I would call her, which I have a copy here of the text messages that I do have.
All right.
And in them, there are a couple, there's some that state that in July,
Hey, Kim, I don't want to be mean, but there are things we need to talk about, like the $500 I already gave you. I'm going to need it back, please. And then from D to plaintiff, okay, when we get back from our vacation on July 16th, we'll pay you all the money back. We don't have it right now. K. From P to D. Okay, that's fine. You can mail us a check as soon as you have it then.
Exactly. We did talk about paying her back, but I mean, it was a bribe. That's my whole point, is it was a bribe. She was like, I didn't even ask for the money. She said to me, she's like, I'll give it to you as a gift to show you how serious I am. I want you to marry my boyfriend. You can have the $500. Don't worry about it.
So then why do you say when we get back from vacation, we'll pay you all the money back?
I mean, look.
No. Look, give me a direct answer.
No, she was like texting me and calling me all the time.
Yeah.
And so I just agreed to pay it back.
Were you texting her a lot? I mean,
yes,
I
ma'am.
have text messages here.
If it was a down payment for marriage, like she's saying, I mean, how would I know that she needed a down payment for the Harley if it wasn't that she called me and she told me that?
But you see, here's the problem, Claudia. You haven't proven to me that it was a down payment for the Harley.
I was going to get an affidavit from the Harley Davidson.
How'd you pay for the Harley?
I put $600 down on it.
And then what? Did you make monthly payments?
Yeah, I make a monthly payment.
What do you make?
$274.
$274 a month. Okay. Did you know how much you had to put down on the Harley when you got there?
No. Mm-mm. I mean, when I got there and we negotiated and all, but I already had the money then. I didn't call her from the dealership.
All right. Anything else?
Well, I do have a witness statement.
Okay.
She called me. This has happened in April.
I can't believe that you got a lawyer over $500 blank dollars. If we had the money, we would pay you. Do you think I have 500? Do you know how much money that is? And this is JS. Who's JS?
He works with me. He's a paralegal.
No. What is JS? He's got to have a name. This is worthless.
He doesn't want his name to know.
You don't
be known.
have
I mean, I'm
somebody
sorry.
give evidence to a court who doesn't want to give his name. This could be Mickey Mouse for all I know.
I mean,
Okay, here's the deal. What do you want to say?
I do have a witness statement from my girlfriend.
Oh,
I mean,
you do?
she's my girlfriend.
What's she going to say?
Just saying that she witnessed, the text and all.
Did she sign it?
Yes. Hopefully, I think.
No, she didn't.
She didn't? Okay. Well, she signed the witness.
Two of you deserve each other. Interesting case. The issue is whether or not there is a loan of $500 for which the plaintiff expected to be repaid. The defendant is saying it was a bribe. She's not even saying it was a gift or a loan. But what goes against that is the fact that the defendant in the text messages says, yeah, I'll pay it back when we get back from vacation. And so she is basically admitting that she's going to, pay it back. But here's the interesting twist to this case, and this is a fascinating case. I just want you both to understand that it is illegal to accept money in exchange for marrying a foreign-born person. It is obviously illegal for you to offer to pay money to someone to marry a foreign-born person. And the marriage in this country has to be bona fide. It has to be entered to in good faith. And there's got to be some relationship of some sort between the parties. Otherwise, you can be charged with a federal crime. And if you're found guilty, then you can go to prison. And you'll have to pay a fine of something like $250,000, and you can go to prison for 5 years. It is a federal offense. Now, I don't think there's any question that you spoke to her about doing the deal. In fact, you admit that you did, quote, the idea came to my head. That's your testimony. Now, your problem is that you have admitted through these text messages that you're going to pay her back, but you also made a statement against your own interest when you said that when you went to the Harley Davidson place to buy the motorcycle that you didn't know how much you'd have to put down, which then falls into her theory that, you called up kind of panic saying, I need $500. This case, honestly, could go either way. But I got to tell you something. I don't like this case. It feels very dirty to me. And if there are dirty hands in a case, then as far as I'm concerned, nobody wins. And the two of you should be happy that I'm not a federal prosecutor, because I'd throw you both in the grand jury and go after both of you. No verdict for the plaintiff.